And everybody, welcome to the podcast, Mr. Joe Manente.
Oh, thank you. All right, Jesse. Honored to be here, dude. What's going on with you today?
Nothing much, dude. How you doing?
Pretty good. 4th of July yesterday. You know, here today, back at work, like a true American. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I know you're getting used to it, right?
I am getting used to it. Yeah. It's a lot to get used to, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
You were born and raised in where?
I was born in Hawaii and then raised in Las Vegas. I moved to Las Vegas.
Oh, you're
when I was
American.
7. I'm American, baby. I'm a full-on American. American blood.
I've been telling people you look like, you know, because like you're Filipino, right?
Right.
And they have a dictator there or something like
They
that?
do, yeah. It's crazy. They've had a dictator
You
for
look
years.
like the dictator's son, like if they just let him go to college and stuff, you know what I mean? I think that's who you are.
Maybe.
Like King Jong-un or whatever. Like he was that other crazy guy, King Jong-il. Like that's who you are for the Philippines. And they're just like, oh, this is how I'm going to learn about America and the world culture.
Through stand-up comedy.
Through stand-up comedy, we're going to send him out here to L.A. to like learn the world, and then he's going to come back and then genocide our people, you know, and rule and then make everyone live in fear.
Damn it. He caught me. He fucking caught me.
That's what your type is. Yeah, you know.
Well, that's a great introduction.
There you go. Yeah, how mean was that? All right.
Not at all. No, not at all. Well, I want to start off by just tell me about yourself and why do you get into stand-up comedy?
Why did I get into it? I don't know. Because it's fun. That's why I got into it. It's so much fun. It's a great time.
Yeah.
You get to get up there, express yourself, say whatever you want. What am I already checking your watch already?
I want to make sure.
Well, how long is he going to take for this fucking answer? Whoa, we're not quick enough for the Filipino version of Kim Jong-un over here. Jesse, I'm joking, obviously. Dude, look at this fucking watch, by the way, guys. Check this out.
A Casio.
Is that vintage?
No, it's not vintage.
Is it remade?
It's just a remake.
That takes me back, dude.
This is my first PA watch. I got it 5 years ago.
You look good.
Thank you, man.
I like the whole thing you got going on here.
I'm trying. I'm working on my confidence here, and I feel like the clothes may help a little bit.
Oh, you're working on your confidence?
I am working on my confidence.
You seem very confident, you know?
It's all a show.
But now that you bring it up, you seem like a guy who's working on his confidence. You don't seem actually confident.
I'm not. I'm really not.
You got the French girlfriend and everything, though, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, she's awesome, dude.
Is that something you made up because you're working on your confidence?
No, it's
like you're
not.
Manifesting a French girlfriend, you don't have one yet?
She's actually the one helping with me with my confidence.
Really?
And she helps a lot.
And you got the girl with no confidence.
I got the girl with a lot of confidence.
Well, then what the hell are we working on here?
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
What does she want you to do now? Bang porn stars? Like, oh, yeah. How much confidence do you need? I think you need a little less confidence.
I don't know about that. I don't know, mate. When you see me on stage, you know that I need a little bit more confidence.
I've seen you on stage, and that's true. But that's amazing that you have the confidence to get the girl, but now she wants you to have even more confidence. Was that so you can find someone else, and then she's like, I don't know how to leave this guy.
I didn't even think about that, Joe.
Okay, what the hell? That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a girlfriend?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
No, I'm dating. You know, that's a good question. It's that's complicated at the moment, but it's. I'm happy. I'm all right. So that's all.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
As long as you're happy.
Yeah. I'm good. There's a fucking bell curve of like, intimacy to stress. At a certain point, those things diverge. Or they converge and then they go in a different direction. Right now, I'm good. So I'm just gonna leave it at that, and I'm not gonna complain about my situation.
Fair enough.
I've been seeing a person, but that's
Okay.
it. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's new. It's newer.
How new?
Like 2 months. So that's not even 3 months. That's not even 90 days.
Not even enough to
We're
get
just
your evaluation yet.
Dude, we're discovering shitty things about each other every day. And this is the period where you do that. You know what I mean? Because you still feel good about each other. You're still discovering good things, but then it's also wrapped in like, is this person a hoarder? You know what I mean? Like those kinds of things.
Is this person a hoarder?
I hope not. Yeah,
You don't know yet, huh?
I don't know yet. See, you got to find out. You can tell a lot about someone by where they live. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, it's that whole process.
I've been with my girlfriend for 7 years, and I still don't know a lot about her.
Is he there? Yeah.
Right?
You know she's French.
That's it. That's pretty much it.
That's all you know. Yeah.
That's all I got to know, right, though? at
You
this
guys
point?
live together?
We do live together.
Fuck, dude.
It's a crazy thing because we met. She was at the apartment right across the street from me, so we'd see each other every morning on our balcony.
Yeah, so you were spying on her through the window, and then what? Oh, my God.
She was spying on me, dude. She came up to me and she hit on me. Crazy
outta
enough.
here.
Yeah, she hit on me.
The French,
The
huh?
French, dude. Yeah,
God
they know what they
damn.
want.
Fuck.
They know what they want.
They like Filipinis. That's what they like. they want fucking brown men named Jesse. That's
We're yellow. Hey, we're yellow.
Yo, sorry,
we're not
sorry.
brown.
Sorry,
okay.
that was so racist for me. I
Jesus.
think I don't know. Maybe I
Gosh,
don't
dude.
care. Hey, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, dude. That's great.
Thank you, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
that. So you are the owner of Fourth Wall,
Yes.
right? What's the story behind this? Why did you open this up? What was the inspiration? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I opened up Fourth Wall out of necessity. I was like 35 when I opened up Fourth Wall in North Hollywood. That's the original place. And, I'd been doing stand-up and getting more serious about it, but I was already getting pretty old. And I'm like, Jesus, I need to get some reps in. So it's kind of a coincidence I have this on right now, but I have my Joe's Movers shirt on. I owned a moving business called Joe's Movers. And, I'm a failed musician and stuff like that. At the time, I was still pursuing music, and I employed musicians. And so I had, my trucks parked at this office space that I would sublease to people to keep, because I didn't really need the office so much as I needed the parking for the trucks. But I had to rent the office to park so it's that kind of. I'm like, wait, what? I'm tired of subleasing this space to people. What could I do with this that would be fun for me? And I'm like, well, maybe we'll do like an open mic studio, and then that's how it started. And 4 people signed up the first day.
How'd you get the word out? Because I'm sure, but
Comedy Bureau, yeah, Jake. This is before I came up with the idea of doing it as an hourly mic. You're fairly new, but like the way that Fourth Wall is formatted is a way that's been parodied by a lot of other people. But I'm the person I'm the progenitor of that system of, sign up per hour, stay, be on time, all that thing.
no kidding.
Yeah. So
When was that? What year?
2018. Now, Fourth Wall opened in 2016. It took me about a year and a half to develop, to figure out like how many people is a good amount and how long, what people's patience level is. And then it just kind of evolved over a year and a half of observation. And just watching. And then in 2018, New Year's Day, we opened with the system that it as now. But that wasn't always like that. It used to just be a first come, first serve mic. So,
Okay.
But, and to answer your question, it was just to start my, it was just for me to help myself get better. That's it. Yeah.
No way, dude.
That's it. Yeah. And other people found it also to be, useful. So,
I mean, it's one of the most helpful things for me. One of the first open mics I went to was an open mic.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine told me about this place. I had no idea, and I went on the website and saw that you guys had writers' rooms, improv classes.
Sure.
And these are the things that I talk about in terms of I have a TikTok, and
Oh, do you?
I'm showing them kind of like my process, a mic to mic. It's progress. It's really, really.
Are you big on TikTok and I just don't know?
No, not at all. Not
Yeah,
at all.
okay.
Crazy enough, one of my videos, like my first 3 videos, one of them got like over 100,000 views.
Oh,
And
is
I
that
was
right?
It was
Yeah.
wild. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all bad. It's literally just my progression, and you've seen my progression.
Whatever. Dude, you're doing great, man.
Thank you.
You're doing great. How long? You've been about a month.
A month, yeah, a
yeah,
month.
dude. You're doing terrific. Just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, keep chipping away, and it's like geology. You know what I mean? It's like a slow metamorphosis over time.
Geology.
It is, dude.
Comedy and geology.
Or like sculpting. Maybe that's a better way to say it.
That's crazy that you say sculpting, because like you being a failed musician, I'm a failed filmmaker.
Oh, okay.
This is what this podcast is about. It's about people like us, where we kind of have failed at everything in life,
tried
and
at other things.
we're
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
stand up, which is probably what we should have been trying to
Yeah.
do first.
Dude, I only failed because I gave up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's all. I still have great memories, and it was a great outlet for creativity for a time, but I stopped.
Well, let's
Yeah.
talk about that more.
Yeah.
What kind of music did you play? What instrument? Tell me about
Hard
if you have
rock.
your bands and stuff like that.
Yeah. Heavy metal at the end, like punk and ska at the beginning, and I played in LA actively for probably, I don't know, 13 years, and then in college and before I moved here for 5. And it was so much fun. I loved it. I loved it while it lasted. But, other things took precedence over that. And I don't know. I listen to music every day, but my motivation to write it and to maintain relationships with a band kind of fell apart. You know what I mean? It's a lot,
It is, dude.
Yeah.
And then, again, the only thing I can relate that to, because I don't play any instruments, but the only thing I can relate that to is film, and that's how I felt with it, dude.
Yeah,
it's just a burnout.
Yeah.
You know
burnout. Yeah, film. You got a lot of people to account for.
Exactly.
Yeah. Stand-up's great because you can do it alone. I mean, you need an audience and everything, but you don't need a lot of gear. Most of the time the venue has everything you need.
True.
And you just show up and you can do it by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes it a little easier. I mean, the failing alone on stage is hard, but but at least it's not complicated.
Right.
Outside of
what was your first experience on an open mic like? What was that?
Oh man, I'm trying to remember what I did. I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember what happened. You know what open mic I went to? I can't remember. I went to Marty's, which I kind of modeled the original Fourth Wall after at the beginning.
Okay.
And I was playing guitar on stage. I was a guitar comic, and
So you were used to being on stage then?
Yeah, in a way, and it was just like, I don't know, like there were so few people in the audience, I couldn't really gauge. I was just doing something. I felt nervous. A guy named Zane Helberg came up to me, who's still active and an active comic now, and he's like, I'm doing a little, basically an invited open mic, and so I got another thing out of it, so that was good. And I don't know. I went to other open mics that didn't go as positively, So I don't know. I was just thinking about this. There used to be an open mic at I.O. West, and this is who used to go to it in 2010. It was hosted by Jade Cotta-Preta, and it had and regular people who were totally unknown at the time were like Jamar Neighbors, Gerard Carmichael, Tony Hinchcliffe,
No way.
even Joshua Snyder and like Jeremiah Watkins. Those were like guys that have gone on to other things, and I just remember us all being totally new. And I was still so heavily involved in music at the time. I just didn't really commit to stand-up, but I was just in the room with those guys before they were really like well known, which is just kind of funny to look back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let me see here. What do I got here?
Yeah.
Do you remember a specific time that you had like bombed? Is there like a memory that stuck in your mind?
Well, only because I started getting. It was at the fucking. I can't remember what that it was in Studio City at that play. Oh, I can't remember what it's even called. But yeah, it was only because I started attacking people in the audience.
That always helps.
Yeah, and I was way out of line. I fucked up. But that's the only one I remember. The rest of it, I've almost forgotten about. I just remember that it did there were struggles. I was nervous. It didn't work. You know what I mean? Fucking.
Well, how do you so obviously with someone like me who's just starting off with comedy, one of the biggest things we're afraid of is obviously bombing.
Sure.
But what we don't or what I didn't understand in the beginning was that bombing is just literally just part of the process. Like you have to bomb. In order to become a good comic.
Well, you don't theoretically you don't have to. Like theoretically, there's a guy out there that he's just good every time. You know what I mean? Theoretically,
right?
But for most of us, there's bombing involved.
yeah, definitely. I know a lot about that. I definitely do. What would be some like advice you would give to someone like me? Like a month in and stuff like that. Obviously, just keep doing it. But
yeah. But no excuses. This is my 3 main tenets. No excuses, don't ask for permission, and give it to him from your guts. That's it. When I look back at all my bombs that I've ever had, it's because I failed to do one of those 3 things. I'm speaking very generally here, but that's all I can say for sure. Just no excuses. Just go up there, do what you're going to do. Don't ask for permission, and just give it to him from your guts. You know what I mean? Yeah, and when I fail to do that, that's where all my bombs stem from. And even if the audience is, like there was a show over the weekend, and the audience, it was a bringer show, and it was just, a bunch of people came to see one guy Okay, and they were just disinterested in everybody else. You know,
isn't that weird that happens? Like
it does.
As an audience member, you go to a show expecting to see people perform, right?
These were people from this guy's work, and you know, they all knew each other. They came to see it. It happens, okay, you know, and they weren't interested in really what I was about. Like, I got some laughs, I got through it, but what got me through it is I just did my act. And even though they didn't really like me, and if you put a microphone in the room, you'd be like, that's a bomb, because people are kind of twittering. They're not like really, really loving you right now. Like, they're lukewarm to you, and it's just, but you know what? I just gave it to them without excuses. I didn't ask for permission, and I can live with myself after it's over with if I do those two things. You know what I mean? If I don't compromise myself to make myself safe for the audience, it sucks while I'm up there dying, but when I get off the stage, it doesn't stick with me. I can live with myself. But when I get up there and I modify my performance so that, I hope that they like me, and I like change something about what about me to make it safe for them, and then they still don't like me, that's the one that fucking kills me. You know what I mean? That's the one that you're screaming about in the shower, you know, fucking 5 years from now. You know, why did I fucking compromise myself for those pieces of shit that weren't going to like me anyway? You know what I mean? Yeah.
100%. Yeah. And I think that just relates to everything in life, right? Like when you meet someone new, or like some business venture, right? You go in there and just, I hope they like me. And I had a conversation with my friend yesterday, and he was just like, well, maybe that's the reason why you kind of fell out of love with film, because you were trying so hard to not be yourself and not do it your way, where you're trying to do it appease people. Yeah, appease people. And I mean, in hindsight, like looking back on it now, and I think he was right, dude.
He's so right. And you know what, Jesse, I'm glad that you said that, because that's what I was doing in music, and that's why I fell out of love with it. Same thing. Trying to, you know, what will people like?
Yeah,
you
man.
Know what I mean? It doesn't mean be a dick or punish
100%.
the audience when you get on stage, but it's like, just, you know, do your thing unapologetically. Don't ask for permission and go for it.
Dude, and I love coming here, especially for my first couple of weeks, was that we live in LA, so you don't know what's going to trigger people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then when I first saw you go up there and you were just free, I was like, holy crap. Dude, like, this guy is... It was amazing for me. It was like, it was one of those things where I was like, oh, I can be myself.
Yeah.
I can be myself here, you know? Because that was one thing about film where I didn't want to talk about my views or political views or anything personal about me, because I was afraid I wouldn't get jobs.
Oh, got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those were the things where I was just like, I can't say these things and
I remember
be myself.
that, dude. Yeah.
So so seeing you do it, it gave me the freedom or confidence at least to be like, hey, dude, I can be myself.
Yes.
And what the crazy thing about stand-up is, which I don't think I'll ever understand, is when you're yourself and not trying to be funny, that's when you're the funniest.
It's true. And it's hard to do that.
That's a strange concept for me.
Yeah.
Strange concept for me. What would an advice, what would you give me for someone who just can't separate that?
Oh, you'll get used to it You're doing it. Yeah,
trying to do it.
You're way more vulnerable than you were 4 weeks ago, dude. You know, and I'm still working on the same thing. So, you know, yeah. And that's it, you know, and you know, it is an art, so it's not as easy for anyone listening as just like, well, I'll just be myself. Like, you still have to write, and you have to be specific about who you are up there. So take the elements of your real self that work in a comedic context, and then heighten that. You know, don't worry about bringing up, I'm not so good at one-liners, better do a few of those. It's like, maybe you're not, if you're not that guy, you don't have to be, you know, just.
Right, true, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
But if you are, then go hard on that, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
what was the thing that, it's so hard to tell Filipino jokes sometimes, especially, well, you love them.
I know, dude. Here I am telling racist Filipino shit, like, well, it's not hard for me.
But I know, it's crazy how to see, like, how different cultures would react to a joke, right? Because I'll tell a Filipino joke and no one's laughing except one Asian guy in the corner giggling. You know what I mean? So that's a different. Maybe it's just a bad joke still, but
maybe it is.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Like, do you have are like your whole family nurses or anything like that?
My mom used to be a nurse and my dad used to work in fast food, and then they went to Vegas and opened
fast
up.
Food.
Yeah, well they went to Vegas, he was actually a contractor. Like, he did the surveying stuff where they stand on the street. That was him. And then they moved out to Vegas and opened up their company. They basically take care of old folks. They have like a care home and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So that's what they do. So technically, yeah, it's still nursing.
Well, you see, I don't know, like for comedic purposes, just to make it easy for the audience, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, nursing. You're in hospitality, like care like that.
But the less words, the better, right? If I just go in and be like, yeah, she's like a head nurse at a.
Yeah, I don't want to give you joke advice. I mean, but here's the other thing. I'll just speaking generally. So I got my 3 things that I told you, and just don't confuse the audience.
And I do that all the time. I feel like.
Me too, dude. It's normal. I mean, that's a big part of the process in open mics is figuring out like, oh wow, that was way too much information, or you need to know more. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And so talking about that, the whole idea of writing on stage, that is a crazy idea.
Yeah.
Going upstage and just talking it out and writing. That was one of the things that Evan Warner, he's another comedian, but he was telling me my first week, he was just like, are you going to open mic? I was like, oh, I don't have anything written. And he was like, no, you write up there. You go up there and write. And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. You hear the music of it. But you do also have to write.
100%.
On your own.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
The idea of writing on stage, I mean, you hear these super seasoned Bill Burr level comics.
Louis C.K.
Yeah, they have a fucking bank of experience that now that maybe they can almost exclusively just write on stage. But, if you want to get your proverbial 10,000 hours, if you got 1 hour on stage per night, which nobody gets, not even if you're like 365 days a year, it would take you something like 28 years to accumulate 10,000 hours. You think about 10,000 hours of practice. That like they apply that to like musicians. And stuff.
Right. Everything.
Well, that's because they practice 8 hours a day alone. You have to write alone. And see what your jokes look like, and get up and then really try them. But you can't accumulate your 10,000 hours of comedy experience, or on stage. You just can't. It's not enough.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be up there as much as you possibly can, because that's what it really is. But if you're not like really writing or really,
I see.
You're never going to get there.
I see what you mean.
And so few people make it, right?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's why it's just going back here. One of my favorite things that you had said on stage was the Charles Bukowski quote. Don't try.
Yeah. You remember that?
Yeah, dude. As soon as I heard that, because I'm a Bukowski fan.
Really?
I read a lot of his stuff. I've read The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. That's the first time I heard of him. It's a self-help book by Mark Manson, and the first chapter is literally Bukowski, don't try.
Oh, nice.
And I just love that idea, dude. I love that idea, and it was kind of like one of those things where you had said, and a light just turned on.
Oh, nice.
Right,
that's
dude?
great. That's good to hear.
Yeah. And it just gave me a little bit more freedom to just go on stage and kind of let things flow, as opposed to just kind of being...
Totally,
dude.
Oh, man, yeah. I mean, you were doing like all these kind of like, it was very guarded one-liners. I'm like, I don't think that he's really enjoying himself up there. You know what I mean? And,
And what I loved about coming here, too, is that watching my recordings because I record everything.
Good.
And in the beginning, I didn't know what you were trying to do. You were asking me questions. I was giving you one-word answers. Do you remember that?
I do.
And after watching it, I realized what you were trying to do. All stand-up comedy is just you go up there and just talking.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah. I mean, it sounds so stupid to say, but that's literally it. Just the stream of conscious of just talking. And then I realized that that's what I was missing my whole life. That was me in film. You would ask me a question. I'd give you a one-word answer. I wouldn't never be myself.
Guarded. Yeah.
Guarded. Yeah. Very guarded.
Yeah. And to clarify for anyone listening, it goes beyond just talking. I mean, you have to distill the talking into jokes and make it into
100%,
package it into a thing. But, at the end of the day, it really is just talking. You know what I mean? Yeah, it is. And opening up and, I mean, once you make that leap, then, it's just a matter of how hard you want to work after that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
What's the one thing that you see from people who have made it, from people who have kind of just quit film stand-up, actually?
It's just work ethic. That's it. You know what I mean? You just have to be good enough. Look at the highest drawers. You know what I mean? Who are the most famous stand-up comedians right now? Like Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
Fucking Joe Rogan. Most famous.
Tom Segura.
I'm not saying.
Yeah.
They're not
most famous. Okay.
Yeah. The most well-known.
Right.
They're not the best joke writers. They're good, but they're not the best. But they've They have their finger in a billion different pies. They're out there hustling their asses off. It's all work. Now, I don't know that's just my observation. I don't know those guys, but like as far as like people that have started at Fourth Wall as open mic with no following at all, and then like take like that's like Chad and JT, or Chad Kroger and JT from is it Chad, JP or JT? I can't remember. But I know them as Tom Allen and John Parr. Those guys are fucking. They just worked their heads off, and they worked, and they came to mics, and they still sign up for Fourth Wall, even though they're on Netflix now. Like, that's what it takes. Yesterday is a good example. It was the 4th of July, and there was like full mics of signups in the evening, 7 and 8 p.m. By the time 7 rolled around, there was only 4 people left, and it was Joshua Snyder, Mike Sasson, and a couple of other guys. But those guys, well, Joshua is the booker at Flappers. He's obsessed with comedy. Mike Sasson started as an open micer. Now he's like an improv regular, and he's not even one of the famous guys. Like, he gets improv spots just based on who he is as, just raw comic ability. And it's like, of course, those are the guys that are there on 4th of July when the fireworks are going off. You know what I mean? That's the level of dedication it takes. And Tom Allen still signs up, even though he's on Netflix, for Sunday night mics. That's what it takes. It's all work ethic. You just got to be good enough. You just got to be good enough, and then just work your head off. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I mean, we're at time right now. I don't want to keep you here.
Bro, that's perfect.
Joe, I just want to say, dude, I appreciate you fucking being on my first ever podcast.
Oh,
dude.
man, I'm honored.
Yeah,
Jesse,
this is awesome.
I'm honored, man. Dude, thank you.
Like I said, dude, if anyone watching this, if you want to get into stand-up comedy, like I said, give them the website.
fourthwallcomedy.com. You can also follow us at Fourth Wall TV on Instagram to keep up with the shows. FOURTHWALL. Comedy.com. Yeah, there you got it in the backdrop. But yeah, if you want to sign up for a mic, fourthwallcomedy.com. We got 2 locations, one here, Hollywood, the cafe, and then the dungeon, the studio, the fucking workout, the gym out in North Hollywood.
That's a dungeon, dude.
Oh yeah.
That's a black hole over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ask Joey Diaz, dude. Yeah.
Joey Diaz?
Oh yeah.
He's been in the Fort.
Oh,
NoHo?
yeah. NoHo.
Fucking way.
He's mentioned it extensively on the Rogan podcast. Yeah. 2018. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Joey Diaz, no way, man.
Yeah, that's why there's a picture of him.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
That's actually at Fourth Wall if you look close. Those other people are dead. Because I'm not going to post it. I put Joey Diaz, he's the only living comic up there because he's fucking, because he's been there.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't just put him up there, for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Fourthwallcomedy.com.
Fourthwallcomedy.com. And sign up for writers' rooms. They got improv classes, and they got open mics, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and 15, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude, it's awesome. It's an awesome place to learn, to get the workout in for stand-up comedy, man. Again, Joe, I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Jesse.
This has been fucking
Much
awesome.
Appreciate it, dude.
And, yeah, take it easy, guys.